What's going on, guys? So in today's video, we're going to be going over how to build a ghostwriter that sounds just like you guys. Like it'll copy you guys' voice, your vocabulary, your tweet structure, like everything about it, okay? Like it's designed to sound just like you. And this is actually going to be a very different video than my normal videos where I have like a full workflow. This is going to be all done in GPT actually. And this works with any LLM. I just like using GPT just because, I don't know, I like it. But you can use Claude, Gemini, doesn't really matter for this. Claude might be better for this anyways because it is better for writing. But nonetheless, this works with GPT very well. But let's get into this though. So again, the whole goal of this is for a ghostwriter to, again, mimic you as an individual, okay? And that means copying your vocabulary, how you tweet, like the exact spacing, how you write your sentences and shit like that, like just how you talk, your actual, like, voice, okay? So how we're gonna do that, okay, is the first thing you need is you need a list of example tweets, okay? So I made this Google Doc, okay? So these are some 10 of my old tweets that I have made in the past, okay? Just put like 10 to 20, I don't know, like just 10 to 20 good tweets that you like the structure of, you like how it's written, shit like that, right? Once you have that, just save it as a markdown file. So I'm just going to save that as a markdown file. And then from there, all you have to do is go to, you just have to make a project, by the way. You hit add files, you add it. So right here, you'll see example tweets is being loaded. And then from there on the instructions, all you have to do is add this prompt. Okay, so and I'm gonna paste this prompt inside the the description. But this is the prompt I wrote. I want you to become a senior ghostwriter for a Twitter creator, and you excel at mimicking someone's vocabulary, diction, writing style, tweet structure, how he talks, and the content he writes about. Essentially, your specialty is mirroring someone's content where no one in the world knows it was you that wrote it and not the corresponding individual. You make sure to write where no one can tell it was written by an AI or by anyone else besides the person you are ghostwriting for. You notice small details in writing style, vocabulary, diction, everything, tweet structure, line spacing, and you mirror it all to a T. So I'd like to just give a quick rundown about my audience. So this person's audience is business owners who are not technical. Their exposure to AI is simple prompting, no-code tools like N8N, shit like that. So it's vital that you break down technical concepts as if you were 12 years old and shit like that, okay? But the reason why I wrote my prompt like this, and a big thing I want you guys to get out of this video, and this applies to just applying AI tools in general, is notice how I didn't really talk about like how to write the content, how to like the content I'm planning to write about with AI. I like didn't mention any like actual AI concepts in here, because if you talk to like a ghostwriter or even a copywriter, right? They'll tell you a lot of times when writing copy, it's not like they just sit there and type the whole thing out like line by line. A lot of times, if you like most copywriters, they have structures that they like where it goes like hook, social proof, handling main objection 1, 2, 3, right? Like they have specific structures that they like. Okay, so what I'm trying to do with this prompt isn't really like to inform about the type of AI content I like. I'm just trying to tell it to just be a ghostwriter that just copies structures. Okay, and I'm gonna feed it examples that we showed over here, right? The main concept I want you guys to get out of this is that when you want to build an AI system, it's super important to first think about the task that you're trying to automate. So in this case, we're ghostwriting, right? And really and just forget about code, forget about AI. Like just think for a second, like what would someone do? What would someone do if they were to do this manually, right? What would an expert ghostwriter do if they were to do this manually themselves? What they would do is they probably look at my old tweets, right? Look at how I like to write, how I like to space shit, what type of vocabulary do I use, like, right? Like, do I curse? Do I not curse? I don't know, right? But they would understand my writing style, how I structure my shit, and then they would just get a bunch of market research about AI, my views on AI, right? And they would just pretty much fill in that knowledge into the blanks of the structure, right? Again, it's just like copywriting, where in copy, there's like a problem hook, solution, objection, I don't know, shit like that, right? But you guys get the idea. Like a lot of times like ghostwriting and copywriting, it's literally just all structures and just filling in those blanks for those structures. And that's all we're really instructing the prompt to do, okay? So yeah, what we're gonna do next, obviously, is paste this prompt into the description. And now what I always do, a big thing with a ghostwriter is I see people, they want it to generate content that they don't even know about. I hate to break it to you guys, that is the worst idea in the world, because you can take the best ghostwriter in the world, right? And if you don't know shit about the field, let's say that you want to start writing tweets about cold email and you don't know shit about cold email, the best ghostwriter in the world is not going to be able to tweet on behalf of you, okay? You have to be an expert in your field. You have to like know your shit, obviously, right? So what I do from here is say, what do I say? I'm going to give a brain dump on some stuff about AI. I want you to turn it into a tweet. You don't need to take everything to use everything. Just take what's important to make the tweet. I cannot spell for my life. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's just clean this up just because I'm OCD. Alright, and then I'm going to give a brain dump. I already have it written down somewhere. So I have this written down, right? This is the brain dump. So it's just about, I noticed a lot of people just use AI. It's just literally like a journal entry. Like, this is how I do a lot of my tweets. I just fucking dump my brain, like whatever comes to mind at the time, let it free flow, and then I just put it in a nice clean structure. And then we run that, and let's see what it spits out. Everyone uses AI for chatbots and content, but the most valuable use case no one talks about, turning unstructured data into structured data. I've used AI to categorize thousands of e-commerce brands by niche plus products. This literally sounds like me. Right? Like, maybe I would change this rhetorical question. Maybe you have to change shit here and there, which is fine, right? But this literally writes exactly like pretty much how I write, and with plus or minus maybe like a word or two. And again, think about how it does that. Because I see a lot of people complain about like AI slop and they're like shitty AI generated content. 99% of the time when people do that, they're literally just not feeding it good enough context on what to write about. They're not giving them example tweets. They're not giving them example content on what you want it to replicate, right? You're not telling it you're not giving it enough information to learn from, okay? Because again, at the end of the day, these LLMs, they cannot read your mind, okay? Like, even if you gave it like a context profile of saying like, this person speaks very casual, they speak direct, they speak very free flowing, whatever, like you gave it like just some context on like how you like to write. What the fuck does direct mean? Like, what does that look like, right? What does speaking casual mean? That, like, if you told like 5 writers to speak direct and casual, they're going to write 5 very different types of tweets. So the big thing that I always like to do is making sure you provide, again, 10 to 20 tweets like we did right here, right? These are 10 to 20 of my old tweets. And if you look at all these, it looks exactly like the structure that it generated right here. Where now all I have to do is just copy and paste into a Google Doc and maybe make a few edits here and there, and it's good to go. But yeah, guys, this is a much different video than normal videos where I code up a full workflow and shit like that. But I thought this would be very useful for you guys because I think it's just very quick and easy. There's no coding required. You don't even need like a fucking no-code tool either. It's just loading up GPT or Claude, and it helps a lot with writing tweets. All right, thank you guys so much, and hope you guys have a great day.